Hi, I'm Nichola McLeod, and I'm sharing with you tips and experiences to help you with your home-based business. Today, we're going to look at how you take your goal or your vision and break it down into smaller achievable chunks. Have you ever found yourself with something in mind that you want to achieve, a really clear goal, something that you're being really visionary about, but you haven't got the faintest idea where to start? And you know you want it, but those first couple of steps just seem really out of your reach because the goal feels a little bit too daunting. Well, I want to take you through one of the techniques that I use to be able to help me to break that down and be able to achieve it. Now, I love this quote. I think it's absolutely superb. It makes me smile every time I see it because it kind of sums it up. How on earth do you eat an elephant? Well, it's quite easy really. You break it down into bite-sized chunks. It's that simple. But how does that actually work? Well, first of all, you need to know where it is that you want to go. You need to know your goal. And we're not going to cover off finding out what that goal is in this video. We'll do it in another one. But let's work on the assumption that you've already identified where it is that you want to go. So that's step one. Step two is having a look at where you are right now. And step three is figuring out the gap between those two. And that's something that could just take a couple of minutes or it might take a bit longer. But it's a bit like planning a journey. You need to know where it is that you're going, where you're starting from, and what the gap is between the two. So once you've done that, then it's just a case of focusing on that gap and breaking it down into really achievable bite-sized chunks. So let's go through an example that might help you to be able to see what I mean. Let's say that I'm currently earning £2,000 a year and I want to move that to £4,000 a year. So I'm looking to double. And that sounds like quite a lot. I'm going to double what it is that I want to do. But I'm just going to keep breaking this down until I can get it into a size that is easier for me to eat like that elephant. So £2,000 over a period of a year, I'm simply going to divide by the weeks because I can cope with this week a lot more than I can cope with the whole 12 months ahead of me. I'm going to do some rounding as well because my brain remembers round numbers better than it remembers odd numbers. So that £2,000 divided by the 52 weeks is going to get us to about £40 a week. So I want to increase my income by about £40 a week for each week in the year. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, I know that on average we earn about £7.50 from each of our customers. So it makes sense to me that I need 5 new customers a week to be able to get to the goal that I've set for myself. I can now forget about the £40 increase. I can forget about the 52 weeks in a year. I can forget about the £2,000. My focus is now going to be on how it is that I can find those 5 new customers every week. That feels a lot more achievable to me than it does focusing on the bigger year-long goal. And I'm going to make it even easier for myself. I need to write things down or I don't remember them. It's that simple. If it's not written down, I'm not remembering it. I can use a digital diary or a paper diary, but it needs to be written down. So I'm going to pop into my diary that I've set myself a personal goal for the first 3 days of the week to find 2 new customers. And if you're sharp, that doesn't add up to 5. But that's the way that my brain works, is that if I set myself a goal early on in the week to overachieve what it is that I want to do, I'm going to be a winner by the end of the week. Because if I don't reach my 6, I know I'm going to reach the 5. If it takes me more than 3 days, it takes me 5 days, it takes me 7 days, I've still hit my goal. I can really fly with this because there will be weeks where I get more and there will be weeks where I get less. But I know by the end of the 12 months that I'll be probably over what it is that I set myself just by breaking it down into small goals. Last thing that I would share is that I would also plan out different ways that I'm going to find those 5 new customers. So it's not just a goal of having those 5 new customers. I'm going to really specifically identify the actions that I'm going to do. So where is it that I'm going to recanvass, so revisit some places that I've already been before. Where is it that I'm going to go to find some new customers that I've never been before, and who is it that I can ask to share the products with as well. So I'm going to have those 3 different activities that I can focus on and identify where they are, and all of my energy is going to go into those actions, and none of my worry is going to go into doubling and having £2,000. I know for sure if I focus on those actions, I'll get where I need to be. We've seen huge success in our business in following this approach of whatever it is that we want to achieve, break it down into bite-sized chunks and focus on that daily or weekly goal for yourself. Before you know it, you'll be where you wanted to be. If you found this useful, have a look at some of my other videos, subscribe so you get updates, and I hope to see you again soon.